Come see me do live stand-up comedy, Irvine Improv, May 31st, June 1st, June 2nd. Come see me live, and it'll be awesome. I guarantee it. Then I'm going all the way across the country. Long Island, where are you, baby? Governor's Comedy Club. Wednesday, June 5th, Thursday, June 6th. I'm at Governor's Comedy Club in Levittown, Long Island. Make reservations and come see me. Then Atlantic City. I know you're large. Everybody in Philly is going to come out, make that drive. Friday, June 7th, I'm at Borgata Casino. Saturday, June 8th, Foxwoods Casino. And then Sunday, June 9th, I'm in West Hampton. Go to jmohr.com, click on my calendar, and get these dates. Buy these tickets. Make reservations. Let's party. Let's do it. E-Voice is the reason you're going to make more money in 2013. How? There are hundreds of ways, and you can see them all when you go to jmohr.com and click the E-Voice banner. Here are some examples. When customers call, you'll have your own toll-free number, professional greeting, dial-by-name directory, and more. You'll sound like a Fortune 500 company and blow away your competitors. E-Voice even takes all your voicemails, transcribes them, and sends them to you instantly as a text or email. So you can check your voicemails before the meeting ends and not look rude. E-Voice is only $10 a month. My listeners can test out eVoice for 30 days with no cost and see how much it can help you grow your business. Go to evoice.com and type in the promo code JAYJ. Support Fake Mustache Studios and the More Stories podcast. Stop what you're doing and hit pause. Set up your eVoice free trial and see what I'm talking about. Go to evoice.com, promo code J, evoice.com, promo code J, or just go to jmohr.com and click the eVoice banner right now.
Put your name on it. Just put your name on it. That's all I say. Be a man or a woman. Put your name on it.
Well, I'd like to hear about it, potheads.
How the fuck you gonna know how to be great if you don't study greatness? Look at the game tape.
Donuts.
If you want a battle, it's either that you will or you won't.
You know, you're not a bad-looking man, Mr. Gals.
But you are, Blanche. You are in that chair.
There's something wrong with us. Something very, very wrong with us.
Amy Beth Schumer, we've never met.
We've met so many times.
That's not true. Where did we meet?
Can you hear me? Okay. Yeah, I made you spit take right out.
That was such a Todd Glass question. Hey, can you hear me? Is it okay? Am I all right? Can you hear me?
I'm so comfortable with this little puppy in my lap that I'm like,
Amy Schumer's having a lady party.
We're meeting
lady party
right now.
Where did we meet?
We've met a bunch of times.
Pearl Vision Center. Right?
What?
We met at the Pearl Vision Center.
No.
All right, then I don't know.
We've met at Gotham twice.
Oh yeah, I remember now.
Yeah. No, you don't.
No, I don't.
You absolutely don't.
But
we talked.
quick.
You inspired me, and then you were gone.
How long ago?
I mean, we met the first time 5 years ago.
This is going to sound, at the risk of sounding like an asshole.
Uh-huh.
I tend to spend very little time around women because
That does make you sound like an asshole. It makes you sound like a serial killer.
No, I just don't ever want anyone to be able to interpret any, I saw him with that person, so just having been a person that people have written such horrible things about, like Twitter.
They have? What do they say about you? Do they say stuff about women with you?
No, I won't. I can remove that from the table by when I see you at Gotham by shaking your hand and saying, all right, cool, and it's
I
leaving.
told everyone that we fucked.
Well, that's fine. I don't mind that. That's fine. They'll know you're lying if you said it was any good.
Yeah. Yeah, we met a couple times. Bert was opening for you.
Bert.
And
God damn, he's funny.
He's so funny. I haven't seen
one of the best storytellers of all time.
Well, I wouldn't say that, but he's funny.
One of the he's second tier of the best.
What I like to say is he gets up there. You know, that's what you really got up there.
On stage, and that always bothered me because
I think you should never have open-toed shoes on stage. I'm a firm believer.
But on your special, your high heels were open-toed.
No, they weren't.
Believe me.
Okay.
I am
never
crazy.
met, but I.
No, they were not.
No, they weren't. No, I would never do that.
It was a very good special. I like.
Thank you.
When you walked in on your boyfriend masturbating, and he said, "Are you mad?" And you said,
"No, but you seem to be." Oh yeah.
So funny because you let the audience imagine like just a guy
Like
furiously beating his dick.
an angry masturbation.
Like 8 Michelob's masturbation.
It's all
I'm gonna
angry,
make this.
right?
Yeah, I'm gonna. Not always, but when
Really?
when you've been drinking, you're like, I'm going to make this
just
work.
make it, beat it like it owes you money. But like, I mean, do guys ever when they're jerking off like have like a nice sentimental just a sweet beat off?
Like sensitive.
Like, hey guys,
Like it's real sensual.
Yeah, like let's just slow it down today. Does it happen?
Yeah, you put on the all green, you make it real nice. You just go for the. It's
You
more
put
of a
cologne, even though it's just you.
Yeah, you put cologne on your thighs, so it wafts up for the two of you to enjoy
That
it.
is so gross.
You have a show, Inside Amy Schumer, on
Yeah.
Comedy Central. Now it's like spinning off into like a web thing as well. There's all things Amy Schumer.
Is that the right direction for it to go in?
Well, you were on Howard Stern like yesterday
I was on Howard Stern
or
like
this week,
yeah.
so you're now downsizing your media appearances
going the
as
wrong
well.
way.
The king of all media, 20 million listeners, 200,000 listeners. You're going in the wrong direction.
I'm going to start hosting an open mic. Is that the thing that should be on my bucket list next?
If they give you the door, I'm all. You go to Ha-Ha's or something.
God, I start barking again.
Hey, everybody, come on in. Free comedy.
Do you guys like comedy? Do you like live comedy? My show starts Tuesday at 10:30 after Tosh. But
Let me
then
close this garage door.
people are. Yeah, this is great.
On a Saturday.
How dare he?
Call this in. Everything you say that you don't like,
This
we
place
pull
is
it.
paradise.
What, this garage?
Yeah.
The neighborhood's pretty nice.
You have a real life.
I'm very happy. All I want to do is go home.
You are
What?
home.
All right.
Like,
Jesus.
Andrew, that really looks like you're telling him to suck a dick. You know that, right?
Did you do your Comedy Central deal using LegalZoom? Is that why you got so much good money from Comedy Central? Because Amy Schumer.
Oh, okay. Of course I did.
You got Finesse Mitchell was here, and he actually got divorced using LegalZoom.com. He just asked his wife at the time to sign papers, and it was a legal binding divorce.
What is LegalZoom?
Funny you should ask. You got
Tell
to
me
plan
about
for your
it.
future. You do financial planning. You get insurance, but to get real peace of mind, you got to make sure your family is legally protected. So where do you turn for affordable legal protection you can trust? LegalZoom.com. For over 12 years, they've been helping Americans get personalized wills, powers of attorney, living trust, real estate documents, and more. LegalZoom also helps start and maintain businesses with incorporation and LLC filings, trademarks, and copyrights. Their time-saving service was developed by a team of experienced attorneys, and LegalZoom takes care of you from start to finish. LegalZoom documents have been accepted by courts and government agencies in all 50 states. LegalZoom is not a law firm, but they can connect you to an attorney and provide self-help services at your specific direction. For even more savings, enter MOHR, Mohr, in the referral box at checkout. If you're a parent or entrepreneur, don't wait any longer. Call or visit LegalZoom.com. Protect what's yours. Just enter my last name when you do it.
Wow.
So your Comedy Central, it's a lot of sketches. I'm not comparing female comics. It's like Nick
That's what people
Swartzen.
say,
It's
and
the
then they
Sarah
do it.
Silverman show and like how Nick Swartzen's show was. Is it like that? But I guess they didn't have comedy. You have stand-up comedy in between.
Yeah, it has sketches and stand-up and man on the street and one interview where I just talk to like not a normal person, but like a dominatrix or just somebody who does something where I've never got to really have a conversation with them. I just sat down and asked everything that I would want to know.
You got very good reviews. Variety thought you had a potty mouth, but they were like, "But it's great."
People were like, you got a good review in Variety. And I've never read a review in Variety before, but I read it and I was like, this is good. Like they were like, no, that's how they are.
It is how they are.
Right.
What I like, the reviews that I read was, it's all like, it seems, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think I see how you're working. You open with something filthy and funny and then after that, it's almost like you want to weed out the fair weather fans, and if you can get past the first couple sketches that are filthy, then now we're up and running. This is the diehard crew that I'm going to ride with. Right.
Well, I hope it's like just something that people will watch the whole season. You know, like but it wasn't my choice to open with Two Girls, One Cup. That was Comedy Central. It's a scene called that. Like I wrote that scene. I was just like, what would it be like? I think of the most mundane part of the worst sex acts. I'll think like, what was the production meeting like for that? Or like, what was the casting like for that?
We're out of cups.
Right. Like, can we use your cup? Like, we'll give it back to you. So, and that was Comedy Central's call to open with that because it's coming off Tosh and they want to keep those people. But yeah, that wasn't my call. But my thing is like, you know, people are like, oh, she's dirty or she like, that's just like, I'm interested in talking about that stuff. I've never used it as like a device, but I understand why people would.
I've seen your stand up a lot and you don't strike me as particularly dirty. I don't think if you were a
People
comic,
always
I don't
say
think if you were a girl comic, I don't think they would ever even say it.
I know, like no one's like, oh, Attell, tone it down, you know, but people just, I think they're just not used to hearing that.
It's pretty
Is this his
fancy
table?
around here. My gosh. All right, all the Opie and Anthony people are asking me to tell you. I never
To
heard
retell the cab driver story. They've heard it.
But I honestly never heard the story about you getting fingered in a cab. I didn't know it was by the cab driver.
Yeah, it was by the cab driver. Oh my God. If we're talking about how many times I've been fingered in a cab, like we need another episode of this podcast.
All right, we don't have that kind of time.
Yeah, I was just in a phase where I was like putting myself in kind of dangerous situations sexually.
That's called sex addiction, I think.
Is it? Well, I mean, it's since stopped. It stopped right after that, I think.
What nationality was the cab driver?
He was like a white dude.
Like an American guy?
He looked like all these pictures in here with like the guy, somebody where everyone's wearing a mustache. Like he just looked like anybody in this
like generic, like Greg Proops with a mustache driving a cab.
He was. Yeah.
So first of all, you're already in like bonus points playing with house money. You have a white English speaking cab driver. Like it's not some guy from Cameroon. We wouldn't have the story.
I really struggled. He was gross.
Would we?
Like he wasn't
right.
He wasn't like a sexy dude.
So why not let him put his manny digits in you?
It wasn't even like I let him. Like I took his hand and I put it up my skirt.
With your friends in the back.
They were sleeping because we were all really drunk.
So what was it? Did you just feel? Well, I mean, can you just tell me the story?
I think
or
I
you
just wanted to feel like. I mean, and I still like that porn. Just like he, you know, I like it when it's like a gross guy and a beautiful girl. I don't know why. I still like that. Mabel, don't leave right now.
She's not going to go anywhere. Trust me. So he was disgusting. And he was disgusting. And he could literally fill.
I just like was really turned on by the idea of him being really turned on. And so I put his hand up my skirt and.
That guy's probably he's in Queens right now.
I wonder about that guy.
Yeah, he's at Queens at like a card table.
No one believes him.
He's like, man, I'm telling you. And he didn't have an accent or anything.
I've had a lot of cab drivers claim that. But now what sucks about this story...
My man, Angelina Jolie was in the back of my cab. She made me fuck her.
What sucks about telling this story is, you know, I'm on the road all the time, so I'm always in car services. And any guy that has heard that story, like he's looking at me in the rear view. You know, just like, well, is something going to happen with this girl? And I'm just like, oh, God.
It's got to be weird to be a female, like guy comics, like guys are more predatory, I would guess. But to be a female comic and meet your fans, like you can't really just like, hey, let's go out and have a drink. Like it is,
no.
You're always at risk just meeting guys that want to buy T-shirts.
Yeah, I can't go out ever after the show.
Never?
No, I can't.
You don't go to the Yard House, rockin' tunes and good times, listen to Tom Petty and shoot hoops?
I mean, that sounds awesome. I would love to do that, but now it's, yeah. But, I mean, girls are just as bad as the guys. Like, they want to, because, you know,
Girl
I'm
audience
talking
members?
to you like I would do my stand-up, like, so people really feel like they know you. Yeah, girl audience members. So they're all like kind of handsy and they feel like they want me to know that they understand and that they appreciate me. So, you know, they'll like kind of manhandle me. Girls just as much as guys.
Don't you think with women, there's always like they're full of shit, and when they do like that faux lesbian, like, we'll make out, we're crazy.
Yeah.
But like what every guy in the bar doesn't know is that's completely where it ends. Like that's their thing. Like we go out and we make out.
We're
it's
all
great.
raging dykes. Or wait, what do you mean? Like,
no, they're not
it's just
at
for
all.
Attention.
They just do it to get attention. Like we make out, we don't give a fuck. We'll go to the strip club, get lap dances.
Yeah, I've never been that girl. Even though I do have a genuine crush on Amber Tamlin. But other than that,
does her husband know this? Because you guys, I mean, I don't know. Comics.
We had like the premiere party for the show the other night, and I think I might have told him when I was pretty drunk.
Like, listen.
Yeah, but I've been open about her. We have a scene where we make out on my show.
Amber Tamlin's on
my
Inside
show.
Amy Schumer.
Yeah, and we have a scene where we make out, and I had like, do you remember this? Or I didn't tell you. I developed real like, I was just like, I think I love her and I want to hook up with her.
But could you do it? I mean, that's
I
a
could
commitment.
never even touch a vagina.
Yeah,
that would just make me
It's
ill.
pretty weird.
I mean, it sounds like really weird. It's
if you
weird
could-
dealing with a penis, but a vagina just seems like, wow.
An uncircumcised penis, that's like, then you're just like, that's,
I can forget it.
yeah, it's weird.
Just quit
You should
life.
circumcise your kid, right?
Yes,
That's
you
well,
did,
that-
right?
Yeah, both.
You
I did it here in the garage
You
with a
circumcised your
Paland-
female dogs, right?
with a Paland weed eater. We did it at home. We tried to get it up and get it on TLC, but they wouldn't have
This
it.
place is really...
They're like, we're going to put on Little Chocolatiers instead,
This
not
is a compound.
celebrity circumcise my son. I had
Late in
everybody.
life
Artie
press
Lang
with
was
Jay
in. I
Mohr.
had Scott Baio. We had the whole crew. Nobody
Oh my
wanted to
God.
do it.
I was just remembering Scott Baio. Did you watch when he was on Arrested Development?
No.
His name was Bob Loblaw.
Bob blah
Bob,
blah.
yeah, it was like Bob Loblaw. He was the Lord. Bob Loblaw. It's like making me
He was
laugh.
funny. He seemed really nice on his reality show that he did about
Yeah.
him trying to look for love. And it seemed like all of his friends were real creepy.
I don't remember the Friends, but I remember.
It was the
I
older
couldn't
brother from the
believe-
Wonder Years.
Oh, did he produce that?
He was one of his friends,
I
always
met
on.
him.
He
I
always
met
had like a
that
big
guy.
cigar in his mouth.
Yeah, that guy like produces a lot of things.
Does he really?
Mm-hmm.
Jason, what's Jason? Is that Jason Hervey? That's his
He was.
name?
He produced.
Yeah.
I was working at Fuse TV, and I think he was producing that show with CeeLo that was on for a little while. I was like, this guy has his hands in every pot.
Well, maybe he's a cab driver.
Yeah, he can put his hand in my pot. I see what's happening.
What's the weirdest job you had before you did stand-up comedy?
I drove a pedicab in Santa Barbara. Like I was a rickshaw.
Really?
I've had a lot of weird jobs.
That's a great exercise. And when you hate it, are you like, at least I'm getting sun on my back?
It was never fun at all. Well, you're right. If no one was in the thing, if no one was in my rickshaw, it was kind of fun. But I wasn't very good at it. You assume that people who do that job are just going to be good at it. You kind of just trust. But Santa Barbara, State Street, there's like that huge hill. And I would just like, I had to yell for people to get out when we would get like kind of halfway up the hill because I wouldn't be able to do it. So I wasn't good at it, but that was my job.
I took one from my hotel in New York to Gotham, and I didn't realize how long it was from like 55th Street to Gotham.
Oh my
and I'm
God.
like, you know what? I'm never going to get a cab at 7 o'clock. That's when they switch shifts. And then about right around 45th, 40th, 38th, I could
like-
see the guy looking over his shoulder like do you want to be done?
Yeah,
Are
like
you
I don't
good?"
know. Yeah.
And I was like, no, man. Like, we're in it to win it. And I don't know why it's illegal to not wear a seatbelt in your car, but it's totally legal to have a guy in a fucking
take
bike
a-
with a rickshaw bike to just weave in and out of Times Square traffic.
So dangerous.
It is, right?
Yeah. I've never heard of anybody getting hurt in one, but I know that the qualifications aren't like you don't need to go through a year of rickshaw training. They're just like, here, you can rent it for $20.
And you didn't need like a Class C license to drive a rickshaw?
You needed a bike and $20.
Why are they $20?
Because that you rent the rickshaw and then you just attach it to your bike. That's all it
seems like-
costs. $20 to
And
rent
do you
it.
make up the prices for the rickshaw
You're
customers as you
supposed
go?
to not tell them how much it costs. They tell you where they're going, and then they're supposed. That's how it was then. They're supposed to just give you what they think you deserve. But I would tell them. I'd be like, "Where are you going? Okay, that'll be $15."
And then would they tip you?
Yeah, I got tipped sometimes.
did you ever
They felt
get-
bad for me because I was a girl.
Really?
And I wasn't good at my job.
How long ago was this?
It was like 6 months ago. No, I'm just kidding. When was it?
It'd be a better story
I
if
was
it
like
was.
21, 22.
I will say this, Amy Schumer, at Amy Schumer, SCHUMER, at Amy Schumer, and the show is Inside Amy Schumer on Comedy
Thank you.
Central on Tuesdays, correct?
Legal Zoo. Yeah.
Legal Zoom did your entire deal. You have a lot of people that work for you. Like,
Work for me?
yeah, like I've had the Black
Oh.
Crows, David Lee Roth, Charlie Sheen, Jay Leno, Rufus Wainwright.
They
Just
all
made
work for me?
No, I just made a phone call to these people, but like you
Yeah.
actually have like a team of people.
That's just right now. Like Comedy Central hired those people to. I'm out here to do press for the show,
Right.
so I have like handlers, but just for this month.
That
you know?
really?
Yeah.
You're not going to hold on to them if Comedy Central's like, we'll keep the bill for the team.
Oh, if they want to keep paying, sure.
Yeah.
That sounds great. But this trip, it was like I'm doing too much, to figure it out by myself. Like they have like minutes. To
Well,
minute
yeah,
plans.
you do need people in a press tour.
Yeah.
Howard Stern, is that like?
And I'm a girl. You didn't name any girls in that list. It's just so much more nonsense,
Why?
Because like for TV and stuff, I need hair and makeup and a stylist and, somebody to make sure.
Well, when you work on like a movie, if your call time's 6 o'clock in the morning, the girl lead, she's there at 4:15 in the morning, and you're like, oh my God,
That
I'm
sucks.
so glad
You just get a little powder.
Yeah. Hey, do you mind if I spray paint you, hon? There's always that lady like with
An
the spray
airbrush,
paint gun.
yeah.
You're like, I don't give a shit.
Do whatever you want. Yeah, it's such.
I slept with Brian May. Queen? I slept. You're like, they always have some crazy story that you're like, all right, it's 5 a.m. You want to walk
it's
through?
super early for this story.
Yeah, Brian May, a very giving lover. Turn.
Do you talk to people on the road, like when they pick you up in the car and they want to talk to you? Like, what do you do when you check in the hotel and everything?
I talk to the driver. I want to know where he's from.
Oh wow, okay.
It's always some weird place. And that always interests me.
Yeah.
I think it only interests me because unemployment's like at 11%. So I don't know how everyone from Syria has a lock on cab driving and like picking up celebrities from airports. Like, listen, I come over from Romania. My father. We run the whole limousine company. Like, I have 3 uncles. 2 of them can't get a job.
Right, and this guy's he's a medallion.
Like, if you take a car to Imus in the morning, there's some guy from fucking Estonia. I don't know how they have this
with his job on lock. Yeah.
And it's not like picking strawberries and like, I'm not doing that fucking
No, they're
job.
in a luxury vehicle.
Yeah, you're driving a car with air conditioning, listening to Ron and Fez all day. So I'll talk to the guy, and I do want to know a little bit about like the history of the country, and I want their perception of what's happening.
Yeah.
Nothing I ever apply later in my life, it dies in that cab.
Yeah, that's it.
It's like
and the information leaves you. Yeah.
It's like a conversation on an airplane.
Yeah.
Like for the 5 hours, you're like, really? That's great.
You're like, we're going to stay in touch forever.
Yeah.
And then they're like, can you give me a ticket to your show? And you're like, no.
No.
That's crazy.
No, I get part of the door. I can't give away free tickets. They don't let me. I would, but they don't let me.
I'll make sure you get a good seat, but you're going to have to buy that ticket.
That's correct. Hotel, very nice checking in. And then
they say, how was your flight? And you say,
great, everything great. I'm glad to be here. You guys are so nice. And then once we're in the room, I don't want to call.
No.
Unless someone says someone in my family has died.
Leave
do not
me
disturb.
alone.
If I want towels or pillows, I will contact you.
I'll reach out to you.
I don't want, if I
make sure
hear
I'm okay.
a sound, I'm going to come down in my robe in the lobby
lose your mind.
like Jerry Stiller, a crazy old Jewish guy, like, what's with the noise? Just leave me alone.
I checked in yesterday, and then at this hotel, they were like, okay, and Josh will be right up. He's your happiness liaison. And I was like, I don't need, like, can he liaise himself to never talk to me while I'm here?
He's he's a Paxil dealer.
Oh, well, if I knew that.
Yeah, but it takes too long to kick in. By the time it kicks in, Josh is gone, and you feel bad that you couldn't thank him.
Hey, Josh, I'm sorry I rejected you. Oh, wait, do you think Mabel wants to get down?
No, she'll get down if she wants to get down. Have you ever been on antidepressants?
No. People have wanted to put me on them.
Why? Are you depressed? You don't seem depressed.
No, I went through a breakup like a month ago, and that sort of made me. And I asked my therapist, I was like, "Should I go on antidepressants?" She's like, "No, just be like a little sad. You're going through a breakup." I was like, "Oh yeah." I think as comics, don't you feel like we think we should be having like the best time of our lives all the time?
I'm the outlier. My wife has told me this. I'm the only comic she's ever known that doesn't have some fucking hole that needs filling.
Yeah.
And so she thinks I'm an actor that figured out how to do comedy.
Oh, okay.
But I think I'm a comic, so it's the ongoing debate in the house. So I'm always happy, which I found out makes your peers angry.
It appears angry.
It makes your peers angry.
Oh yeah, nobody wants anybody to be happy or successful.
The cool, like alternative comic.
I know that
everything sucks. Like no, everything's fucking great. Like we're doing comedy. Like
I'm about to walk into a wall of hatred, and I know that, and I've never experienced that before because I've never.
Where are you going? That you're walking? Oh, because
just
of your
my show.
Yeah.
Like even if my show doesn't do. If my show really bombs, then I think comedians will be like really nice to me, and if it goes well, then I think
they'll
it'll
be happy.
Yeah.
I will say this. I do enjoy other comics' failures.
Yeah. It's just like
it's
not our fault. But I don't think that comics, this is my new thought. I don't think it's because of trying to fill a hole. I think it's like something happened to us when we were younger and we were in some pain. And this is our way of trying to control, just control something. Like we're controlling the audience. We're controlling a situation that is really super vulnerable, but we have figured out a way to control it. And
it's environment, conditioning. How much of it though is how your hard drive was installed too.
Yeah.
Like if you just come out of the womb like tap dancing, like I need everybody to look at me.
A little, yeah.
Like I don't know what happened to me as a kid, but I know my first cognitive thought was, "Look at me!
Like,
what
check this out.
What I'm doing is pretty cool. You guys should watch."
I think this is worth looking at, guys.
I'm setting the world record standing on one leg.
Guys, nobody's ever breastfed this well before.
No. You see me looking at you.
Yeah, I just think that like I don't know. I know as young as possible, I was like everybody sit down, listen. This is a story, and I would make up stories about animals, and my dad would film it. And they were really bad, but I just like that's what I wanted to do, and it was at such a young age.
Did you grow up in Jersey?
No, I grew up in Manhattan and then Long Island.
Manhattan's a tough hustle for a kid.
Yeah,
I can't imagine. Like you saw me with my son, I can't imagine like getting in a cab with a kid.
I could see it.
Because you see it all the time?
Yeah.
Like, everybody makes fun of Sarah Jessica Parker, like, with her kids.
Why?
Well, they say she looks like a horse. And I always tell everyone, like, I've been defending this lady for so long. Like, if you had a fantasy football draft and one of your friends was married to Sarah Jessica Parker, everyone would go, is Sarah coming?
Yeah.
Is she going to be there?
Of course.
That fucking cow you're married to in Valencia? Like, we'll let Sarah Jessica Parker down easy.
Oh, people are so critical. You see these women reading In Touch or whatever, and they're like, I don't think Britney's a good mom. And I'm like, you're so fat and unemployed. Like, why? But I'm not above it. I care more about what's going on with Kim Kardashian's pregnancy than my best friends from high school.
Aren't you super happy that she's, like, actually a house-sized person
She's
now?
pregnant. I really am just like, she's pregnant. I can't believe people are. And they're distorting the photos so she looks fatter.
Well, they distorted them the other way for so long to make her look less fat.
Sexier.
And
really?
I don't know why all of a sudden, like, if someone's on the beach and they have like a big fat ass, it's like, uh-oh, Jessica Biel's been eating too many pancakes. But like Kim Kardashian, we have to celebrate the ass. And like, look at her curves. She's so curvy. No, she's fucking fat. She's a pig.
There's no answer. It's like you experience her that way. And then other guys experience her as like she's the sexiest thing ever. So no one's right.
Yeah, I like a little junk in the trunk, man.
Everybody's
That's
different.
You can't get skinny girls.
I don't know. I think it's like you just.
Do you lampoon people on your show? Like when you're doing sketches, do you take pop culture stuff and do sketches about it, or you do pretty much stuff from your act?
No, I don't think there's any pop culture stuff on the show. The only thing that maybe would be like that is we have a scene that's kind of like poking fun at Cosmo, sex tips, because like they're always these wild things that men don't want, like just like wear his favorite tie and fist him, like just some, like some, and you're like, are you sure? So it's like we filmed a scene where it was like kind of a pitch meeting, like the hottest sex tips go, and just like these like New York cunts just like what, and just going around being like, okay, you get a sawed-off shotgun, and just but that's kind of the only pop culture thing. We were going to do a scene making fun of the dynamic between a late night talk show host and an actress, because it's always like, Conan or Dave, and like the actress tells some boring story about her vacation, and like no one gives a shit that we swam with dolphins, and then there's always some kind of sexy thing, and she pretends like she has a crush on Conan. She's like, well, I always liked you, and he's like, oh, stop, and pretends like he cares.
The seagulls were way too close to the boat, and I said to my husband, who I wish I didn't have, because now that I've
because I love you, Conan. He's oh. So that was the thing, and then the hot girl always pretends like she's a nerd. She's like, oh, and then I don't know if I should say this out loud, but like, I love Star Wars. And then we were going to cut to nerds in the audience just like jerking off, like, me too. And the sketch ended with like me getting hit with all this yogurt. And we was going to be like, it's Yogurt Friday. But, it just looked like they all came because I liked Star Wars. But
what, they wouldn't let you do it?
I don't know where that scene went. I don't know if Comedy Central
I love it because as soon as you said it, my mind immediately went, it'd be hysterical if it was actually yogurt. Like,
it was going to be actual yogurt, yes.
Like comics were incapable of not tagging shit. Like, I'm like,
it's
it'd
yogurt.
be great if it was just yogurt. Like, I know. Oh, you said the yogurt word. The yogurt word was Star Trek.
It's like, Dannon left yogurt under all your seats. That's how it's going to end.
You probably have to clear Dannon. You'd have to make up like Glannon. You'd have to make up some fake yogurt word. Aren't you amazed the amount of things? Like if you have a person's name in a sketch,
it's like at a release,
or you got to find. Like we found that person in the Long Island white pages. You have to pick a different. And you're like,
yeah.
So
this is a real guy,
right? Well, the one in my head wasn't. So I don't know what the problem is.
I don't know that dude. Yeah, they've been pretty legal stuff is pretty serious.
And Comedy Central has left you alone because I guess a comic, all you really want is autonomy. You just want to be left alone, and you don't want suits telling you, it'd be funny, Amy.
Oh no, they've never done that. They really never were like, wouldn't this be funnier? And the people, the executives, like the two executives we worked with, are actually funny people.
Yeah.
And
that's unheard of.
I know. I know. The other night we had the party and Kent Alterman, you know him. He said a couple words and he brought me up and he read a letter and he's like, Amy wanted me to read this to you guys as myself. And I was like, oh no, this is gonna bomb and people are gonna think I really wrote it. And it was like hilarious. And it sounded like I wrote it. No, I tried to give him credit, but everyone thought I wrote it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was so funny.
You should have just walked around like, yeah, you guys dug my letter.
Yeah,
it's cool.
It killed. All
right, we're going to pause for 60 seconds, so don't go anywhere. Otherwise, you'll miss this awesome question right after this. You don't need to spend any more time trying to figure out what to buy your mom or your wife for Mother's Day. Have you ever seen anyone unhappy when they receive flowers? I haven't. Don't make it harder than it has to be. Order her Pro Flowers. Pro Flowers has 1 dozen rainbow roses plus a free glass vase for $19.99, or double the roses and get chocolates for just $29.98. That's a bargain, my friends. You just need to type in my code MOHR, M-O-H-R, when you order to get these special prices. Colorful bouquet of roses that will make your mom smile. This offer is just for my podcast listeners. Pro Flowers are guaranteed to last a full week or your money back. Guaranteed to be delivered on the date that you would like. I personally would pick Mother's Day, but that's just me. What do I know? Here's the only way to get this amazing Mother's Day deal. Go to proflowers.com, click on the microphone in the top right-hand corner, and type in my last name, Mohr, M-O-H-R, proflowers.com. Click on the microphone and type in more. Order now. Mother's Day is this Sunday, and this deal expires soon. It's a good deal. Get on it, guys. When you did Howard Stern, that's got to be it's got to be a dream come true, because he is the king of all media.
Yeah.
But you got to be super wary. Like, I would be wary going in because I don't want him digging up stuff on my past.
Right.
And then
my past is out. Everyone knows that a cab driver fingered me.
I didn't until I tweeted that you were coming over. Ask about the cab driver fingering her.
It's like
what did he now I have to ask. Did he finger? Did you like finish? Did you do it?
I was probably too drunk to have an orgasm. I don't know. Maybe I did finish. I like to think that I finished, but I don't remember. I mean, I was 19.
I think you should have revisionist history and just be like, when people ask you that question, ask me if I finished.
Oh yeah, I was
twice.
I squirted.
He ruined it. He just had. I remember he kicked me out of the cab because I ruined his radio.
Yeah.
Turns out it was yogurt day.
His air conditioning was broken forever.
It turns out they were just giving out free bottles of water.
I'm
trying to tie it back into the sketch, but I'm not very good at it. So who goes to who? All right, so you go to Howard Stern, and when you go in there, did he? As soon as you walk out, is it, hey now? And he starts talking about your ass and your boobs?
No. I've done it 3 times. He's never mentioned my ass and my boobs, but he did say that he thought I was hot, which I really appreciated, because every girl, we want to hear that. But yeah, it's never been like anything about my tits or anything.
Well, that's great.
Yeah.
So
he thinks I'm actually funny. Yeah.
You are actually funny, and you got to talk about content. You got to actually.
Yes, the first 2 times I went on, I had just done a roast, and so it was kind of like talking about the roast jokes, and then this last time was just about my show.
The roasts are like a double-edged sword because
they're just a sword. Like, they're just like, look, take 5 years off your life.
I did one and bombed so bad I asked to be, the Drew Carey roast, I asked to be edited out, and they were like, no problem, we were actually going to ask you.
Really?
I got booed.
I didn't see that one.
I made fun of Dave Dinkins and Abe Beam, the 2 old mayors of New York, and it was like totally lame.
I know Dinkins, I don't know the other one.
Abe Beam, during the garbage strike in like the 78, before you were born, he's like, and I said something like, after the roast, Abe Beam and Dave Dinkins are going to go out back and have a bad mayor off. Like, it was that inconsequential. That's stupid.
Yeah.
And Freddie Roman, that's when the Friars were still doing it.
I just did a roast with him.
Like, those guys started going, they're hissing,
they were hissing you?
me. And I'm like, these are the guys that invited me to come on. And then I started tagging them up. And because Freddie Roman's got like the geranium on his head.
Yes, he does.
And then
he'll be so psyched you're talking about him right now.
If anybody knew, and then it all fell apart. It was the worst. And then at the very end, Pat Cooper came up and goes, "Where's the young man that everybody booed? Where's the young man that everybody booed?" He looks like Beaker from the Muppet Show, Pat Cooper. And then he just looks at me and goes, "You didn't succumb. He never succumbed. You didn't get to him." And and I was like, "Oh wow, okay, good." It was, but I remember it was the first time like when you headline, it's rare, not to sound like a dick, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You don't really bomb.
They're there to see you. They love you, and you've been doing it a long time, and you're good at it.
They're there because of you.
Yeah.
But to actually leave a giant hotel with thousands of people, and I don't want anybody to recognize me, that's how bad it went.
Wow. That's like, yeah, when people talk about like what's the worst you ever bombed or whatever, I think it depends on the size of the audience, I guess.
That was, you know what? I never even realized it before. That was the worst I ever bombed, because that was the only time I bombed where everyone knew who I was, and everyone on the way out was like, hey, Jay Mohr, Jerry Maguire, or like there was an actual credit attached.
Yeah.
You weren't just some guy in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania at the Laugh Hut.
If I bomb, no one cares, but people love to see a famous person like fail.
So you, that's the 30-minute sign right there.
Wow, this
Angie.
is like
in the
totally
future,
fancy.
Angie, you could just say 45, 30, because it saves you time writing everything down.
I really like the dynamic here.
I love this guy.
How'd you guys meet?
I stole him from the Jim Jeffries Eddie If podcast, Talking Shit with Jim and Eddie.
You just went. You sold out quick. Your best offer, huh?
No, he still works for them.
Oh, okay.
But they're on my.
Those two together, huh?
They're on my network.
Oh, okay.
And
How'd they get together?
I don't. They live together.
Now?
It's like bosom buddies.
Oh my God, that's so weird.
And then Eddie always says Jim used to like open up checks in front of Eddie, like, "Oh, look at this, $3,000 just laying around the house. That's not too bad, you know. I don't even remember. I didn't know I had it."
He tears it up in Eddie's face.
Yeah, and so they just bred contempt for one another. So
God.
what was I even talking? Oh, so the roasts. When you go in and do a roast, you catch everybody surprised once.
Yeah.
That's the whole trick.
Yeah, you got to sneak in, and they're not worried about you, and you have to like go hard.
And the second time, they all go hard at you.
They go hard at you, and they think, oh, you're not going to do as well as you did the first time.
And then the third time, there was no reason for anyone to do a roast a third time.
No.
And so once you
There's
go
one
under
coming
the radar,
up in the summer. I'm like,
who are they roasting?
I have no idea.
Some
fucking
I don't know
celebrity
why
on their way out.
It's unbelievable.
Whoever's the closest to death.
Really?
No, I don't know.
Maybe Pat Cooper. That would be a good roast. They should do Pat Cooper.
Oh my God.
Who did you just break up with? Anybody we know? Anybody famous?
It was Anthony Jeselnik. He's a roaster.
I thought that was prior to this one.
We've gotten back together, and
He looks alarming. To me, he's a very handsome. I think he's hysterical, but I always think young Christopher Walken.
Yeah,
Deer Hunter
I think
Christopher
he gets
Walken.
that. They have a similar vibe. Yeah.
Is he depressed, or is he really that?
He's not depressed at all.
Yeah,
No,
so that's
he's
kind of
fine.
great. So he's probably breeding.
No need to worry about him.
He's probably breeding contempt as he goes as well, because he's not like a depressed comic. He's just like, yeah.
I never had any access to his emotions, so I can't even speak to them.
How hard is it when you're dating a comic, knowing that anything weird that happens in the house is going to wind up at the Improv? On Melrose?
I've never heard him say a joke and thought it was about me. Ever.
But when you talk about catching your boyfriend jerking off, I'm picturing Anthony Jeselnik with his Christopher Walken hair beating his weird dick in Annie Hall.
He always seemed pretty cool with it. Like, and there were some jokes that were about him, and I think like they just made him feel a little embarrassed, but not that other people would know. Because I always like set things up like this guy I dated a couple of years ago or whatever. And a lot of it isn't about him. I just had like a couple things over the years that were about him.
How do you meet anybody to be dating, especially with a female comic? I would think you'd have to have the armor on. You'd really be so self-protective.
I have tried a couple times recently to go on a date or hang out with somebody that was not in the business, and it wasn't successful.
Because all they want to know is about your business.
Yeah.
What we do is interesting to them.
Right. And I'm trying to make sure it's not about me, so I'm just asking them questions and trying to make myself smaller. And so I think Twitter is like a good way for people who are kind of famous to meet up and, date or have sex or
You
something.
and Morgan Murphy are going to hook up?
I'm absolutely fucking Morgan. I don't know if she knows it or not.
I like Morgan. I think she's really funny, too.
Oh, she's hilarious. She's so funny.
I've been trying to get female comics on this show for
But they're scared. They don't believe you have a podcast. And they think you're just going to rape them.
Is that what it is? Because I had one, and then as soon as I think it was Jenny Molin was the first one. She's an actress, I guess.
Yeah.
Cracked the code, and then everyone like Margaret Cho, like a week after her, and then you and Aisha, and then Morgan Murphy's going to do it.
Or they couldn't.
No, they're all going to do it.
Oh,
now.
cool.
But for some reason, like I was going, everyone's going, how come you never have female comics
I was
on?
looking
I'm like,
at the mustache pics, and I saw maybe one girl or just.
They're on the website. Gabby Reese. They're two like.
Ooh, Gabby Reese.
With Laird.
I have
Talk
to
about a
listen to
couple you're
this.
uncomfortable around.
They're just like, we're tall, gorgeous.
Yeah, and they're like the absolute Michael Jordans of two sports that you know nothing about.
Yeah.
Like, I'm the greatest in the world at beach volleyball in Brazil. I surf waves so big they dropped me out of a helicopter to get on it. What do you want to talk about?
You're like,
I don't know.
So, do you guys watch Game of Thrones?
It's weird. It's great because Peter Dinklage, like, you don't even really realize he's a midget after a while because he's just a handsome guy.
Did you hear about Peter Dinklage? He grew. He just grew.
Come on.
Just kidding.
Oh, my God. You're an asshole.
Can you imagine? He just woke up and he's like really tall now.
And Brad Williams is in an apartment cursing God with a fist in the sky. Damn you!
So I can't imagine.
So I don't know if you had inside info of female comics that were completely ignoring me all the time. They'd always show up on other podcasts.
Chelsea Peretti and Natasha Leggero are hilarious, and they live here. And then the New York, my best friends are New York comics. It's Jesse Klein, Rachel Feinstein, and Nikki Glazer.
Glazer's funny. I don't know the other two as well.
So funny. So funny. Yeah.
So there is no thing about female comics
not wanting to come to your beautiful, perfect house.
And you get to pet puppies.
I can't even believe I get to do this.
We've been pumping nitrous oxide into the garage the entire time you've been here.
I'm
Just so you
happy.
know. Just so you know.
I've never been
Remember
this
your
happy.
liaison, your happiness liaison?
Yeah. Is Josh here?
We call him Andrew.
Oh my, hi. Actually, I saw Josh yesterday. I needed a razor, and my happiness liaison brought it for me.
That's got to be a weird exchange. I can't even imagine. Like,
I was in a towel, like, can I have a razor? And he brought it up, and I was like, thanks. He was really embarrassed, actually.
How much do you tip a guy for bringing you a razor?
I just showed him my vagina.
Well, what's that worth in currency?
Not
Like,
a
in
whole
your
lot.
mind-
He still stood there with his
In your
hand
mind,
out.
was that a 20 spot or is that like a 5 spot?
Oh, I mean, I honestly think my pussy's magic, so probably like a cool $3,000.
A $3,000 tip, a visual one that he carries with him and tells his
Men in
grandchildren.
LA, like, I really don't know if this guy was interested in what I had under my towel or.
But it's
or
got to be
yours.
weird. Like every single thing you do as a female, like I'm realizing now, everything I do as a comic on the road, every female comic that does it on the road, completely different implications.
I noticed that I like when male comics think about it because, like, Pete Holmes, you know him?
Yeah.
We took a picture. We were just in Austin doing a festival together, and we took
tall.
a picture. He's really tall.
Lesbian Val Kilmer.
Yes, and he kept putting on a different shirt every time he'd go on stage because he was emceeing, and so I gave him my shirt, and so we took a picture next to each other, like, because he was wearing like this stupid shirt, and he posted it, and he saw that all the comments were like, "I love your tits," and just the difference in the comments he gets when he posts a picture versus if a girl posts a picture. And even just my show, and the web part of my show is that we film behind the scenes.
Right.
And it's just the making of this TV show. But I would say 90% of the comments are people just deciding if they want to fuck me or not.
Yeah, guys don't really have that problem.
No.
It's really, all my comments are that I steal and that I'm like a Jew Muslim faggot.
I don't know either of these things about you.
Well,
Are you a Jew Muslim faggot that steals?
Well, yeah, but I never told anybody about it. I never told anybody about Jew, Muslim, or being gay. No, I tweeted
This
about,
is very much like the Homeland garage where he went to pray, though. I'm now noticing that.
Well, the horn's going to go off in a minute. And I'll face
God.
North, by the way, is right there. That's north,
Wow.
in case you want to know. Oh, no.
I thought it was
What do you-
east.
I don't fucking
Come
think
on.
it's that way.
You don't know where Mecca
And
is?
it's your right hand.
Oh my God. You
I'm
take a pilgrimage
card-carrying Catholic.
to, like,
What do I
the
know
Hollywood
about Mecca?
sign?
Mecca to me is like, I got nothing.
Capitol Records?
Capitol Records is Mecca to me. You know?
Yeah, I don't know. I said it like that.
All the
Is that
comments-
Colin?
Of course it is. Who else would it be? Stupid. It's like I'm sitting with Rich Voss. Who's that now? Explain it to me. I thought it was Herman Hesse reading Beneath the Wheel aloud. That's the thing with Metamorphosis. You never know what he turned into. You know?
Oh my God.
Jeff Goldblum never gave a shout out.
That's really funny. I have a pretty good Morgan impression.
Let me hear
Colin
it.
loves when I do it.
Morgan Freeman?
Morgan Murphy.
Probably less dynamic, but
So, Amy Mann and I were we were on the Palisades, and Patton showed up. It was I was like, Patton, like, why? That's it.
that's fucking great.
Colin really likes
I didn't know
it.
you could do a Morgan Murphy impression.
Yeah, you and I can take our Colin and Morgan impressions and tour.
I understand you're a girl comic, but I don't, Just because you take the mic doesn't mean you don't have to address it right away.
Oh, address it.
They know you're a girl when you walk up there. They're not idiots.
The other night he's on stage talking about how he's talking, and he was doing really well, but then he just stops. He goes, I guess you're all wondering when your drunk uncle showed up to just rant at a party.
I think Colin Quinn, Morgan Murphy road comedy is really what the world's been waiting for.
Can we please make this happen?
So you be Morgan, I be Colin. What's the situation we're in?
Oh my God.
Okay, we need an emotion, guys.
Guys,
it's Improv Olympics.
Throw out a location.
Okay, back us up, ladies. Back us up here. Throw out an emotion and type a movie.
How many tickets could we sell? You and I go out, and we just let them know we're going to be doing the whole set as Colin and Morgan.
You know what? I have ideas like that all the time. I want to do the Tiffany Theater on Sunset Boulevard. I want to do an hour of Tracy Morgan singing Elvis Costello.
I mean, you've just
My
sold
aim
a ticket.
Is true. Yeah. Angels want to wear my red shoes. Have just bring a overhead, do a slideshow.
Oh my God!
Shine on the buttons on your green shirt. You can fool yourself, but somebody's going to get it.
I would
literally do an hour.
Buy a ticket.
So I think you and me as Colin, and I think we can
I'll open for you as Morgan.
No, we got to do it at the same time.
We go out and we have a conversation.
Yeah.
God, that's my only impression I have, though. So you're gonna have to
look. It's a corporate gig. If you work G. So just if you're gonna go out there, if you run out of time, just ask them where they're from. You don't have to go into all your stuff about wanting to kill yourself and masturbating.
Oh my God, that's so
no,
perfect.
You're supposed to do Morgan now.
Oh, sorry. I don't totally agree with talking about masturbating with people other than
you right off the bat. Very low energy.
That's like something Zach would say.
Look, who's talking about Zach?
It's so good. And the physicality. I never realized that Colin's shoulders really are at his ears.
And he always has his hands out like this. These people all weekend, it's a corporate show.
Did you see the Louis impersonator? The comedian who did Louis? It
was me.
Killer. No, it wasn't.
No, I did on Opie and Anthony to him. It was him and Ricky Gervais.
Did?
Yeah.
Oh, somebody just posted a video. It's on Laughspin.
But everybody thought I was mocking Louis. Like, Louis, to me, there's a new king. And it's Louis.
Oh,
when I watched his HBO special, let it be known, there's a new king.
Right.
But him and Ricky Gervais were on Opie and Anthony, and no one could get a word. Like, they were the cool kids.
Yeah.
And it was an embarrassment to the rest of it. Like, Ron Bennington, you just did on Mask. Mm-hmm. To me, that's my guy.
Yeah.
Carlin died, so now it's Ron Bennington. He's the top of the heap for me.
Yeah.
And it's me, Opie, Jimmy. Somebody else was sitting in, and Ron Bennington, and none of us could land a joke. Like, that's a tiny runway when those four can't get one in.
Yeah.
Like, and different people, like me and Jimmy and Ron and Ope.
Right.
And then those two were just like, I'm just a guy, and I'm here, and I'm fucking sitting with a ass and feet.
But why is that? Were they, like, really killing so hard that nobody else had a thought? Or
they never
just
turned to face us.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. And even that,
All right.
Mabel, did you fart?
No, don't say the dog farted because you farted.
It smells like a dog fart. It's a recognizable. No, I don't want to.
My face. Mabel. Did you give your mom a hard time growing up? Did you do weird things like pick boogers out of dog's eyes and feed it to him and laugh and then make your brother eat it when you put it in his peas? Well, why don't you make it up to your mom with some giant, freshly dipped strawberries from Sherry's Berries, starting at $19.99. That is over a 40% savings. Go to berries.com, BERRIES.com, and click on the microphone and type in my last name, Mohr, MOHR. And for my listeners, double the berries for just $10 more. That's amazing. Dipped in white milk and dark chocolatey goodness, topped with chocolate chips, decorative swizzle, or nuts. 40% off from Sherry's Berries. All you got to do is enter my last name, Mohr, when you order. These berries are enormous. They are mouthwatering, juicy. I've ordered them, and they're huge, and I ate them in the middle of the night, and I had to order them again. Here's the only way to get this amazing Mother's Day deal. Visit berries.com, BERRIES, berries.com. Click on the microphone in the top right corner and type in my last name, Mohr. Berries.com, click on the microphone and type in Mohr. Hurry, this offer ends soon, so order it today. Do it right now. All right, so Tuesdays, and you're thrilled with the show. How many shows are already completed? In the
10.
can, as they say.
10 in
so
the
you're
can.
Done.
Yeah, I just have to mix the last couple for sound.
So you really just need a pretty good showing to get renewed for another 10, unless it's super expensive. I think the Sarah Silverman program, that was like the most expensive show I've ever seen. That was like watching Guns N' Roses with an orchestra.
Right.
Like, this is all. You don't have to shoot downtown LA at night. This is all unnecessary.
Yes. I want to do an episode where my feet never touch the ground. It was just like, I think it's probably half as expensive as Sarah's show, I would guess.
They like that.
Yeah. But it's
is this something you want to do? That's what I was going to ask you. Because Nick Swartzen was like, I'm not like into it anymore. Because I have AIDS and diarrhea. And I was like, what do you mean you're not into it? Like, you're just you just want to drink more.
Yeah. It's like cutting into his drinking time.
It's fucking still.
That's so funny.
And then you're like, I didn't understand it. And he was trying to explain to me how much work it is. I'm like, well, then hire 3 people to write. But you're telling me, no, it is in fact ridiculous amounts of work.
It is such a ridiculous amount of work. Like, I've never come close to working half as hard as this. But it's a lot of stand-up. Like, I did that special and burned 45 or however many minutes they use on
in San
TV.
Francisco when we were supposed to get together, but you decided, and I respect this decision.
What was it?
You called me. I was at Cobb's, and you were doing your special at the what theater?
The Fillmore. It was
a much larger place.
I was doing that the next night.
Yeah.
I don't even think it's large. I mean, Cobb's is huge.
And you said, we were going to get together and do the podcast, but one of my girlfriends is in town, and we've decided to get day drunk.
Oh.
And I was like, you know what? I can't argue with that.
I remember, and it was a good choice.
And
we got day drunk. I think the Blue Angels, or what's the flying thing that's...
Blue Angels.
The Blue Angels, they were like doing a show there, and we just were like, we should just get really fucked up right now.
Yeah, I can't argue with day drunk. As
Thank
a guy
you
that
for
used to get day drunk a lot.
So should I lie? Should I make up a...
No, but I remember like, no, that's perfect.
Okay.
Like, that'd be the best podcast. Amy Schumer, day drunk.
Like, hey, guys.
Yeah, and that's the name of your next special.
Hey,
Amy Schumer, day drunk. Morgan Murphy impression, by the way, super impressive.
I gotta work on it.
No, you don't.
You don't?
Fine.
Oh, God. I
It's
could
just
watch
hard.
you do Colin forever.
I think Colin and Morgan it's very hard to do the impressions next to each other.
Yeah, because very different energies. But they're good friends.
Just do it. Just do it.
I just want to just watch boxing.
Nobody can even... Look, we all understand you like this Canelo kid. You like boxing, but I think this is more of a UFC crowd, you know?
Oh, my God.
Maybe you want to talk to them about your respect for the ground game.
It's so good.
The ground game?
No, your impression.
Why do you keep tapping out on me? We have something.
Oh, I'm all tapped out with Morgan. I can't do it. I can't do it anymore.
That would have been like the 4 minutes of podcast history. People were like, did you ever hear the one where Jay Mohr and Amy Schumer did Morgan Murphy and Colin Quinn? That was gold.
God.
But you decided to get day drunk instead.
I know.
You're drunk on dog right now.
I'm so happy.
You are petting the shit out of Mabel.
I never get to touch a dog. I'm just like in New York.
It's pretty easy. You just go when someone's walking one and say, hey, what's your dog's name?
At Runyon, I'm just like, when I come here, I want to go there and just like pick up and steal people's dogs.
Why don't you have? Oh, because you travel too much because you're a comic.
Yeah, I can't have any
dates coming up. You
unconditional love.
want to say right now that are happening in May? No. Stand-up comedy. Amy Schumer.
Can we get a car in here and turn on the gas so I can?
We tried. That's why all the curtains and poles are up there, so you can't fit a car in here. How many diamond push-ups can you do?
What's it? Oh, probably like I'm guessing I could do 15.
15?
Probably.
Are we going to film that for the extra bonus footage?
No.
Okay, here we go. May 4th, the McDonald Theater in Eugene, Oregon.
I am?
Yes. Let me help you out here. You know what? I don't want anybody to go, I listened to it too late. So let's pick, wow, you're really just kicking the shit out of Oregon.
I want to die.
You must be the most famous
my car
person in
flips
Oregon
over.
since fucking Clyde Drexler.
Look out, Oregon.
That's a basketball reference. Stick with me. Clyde the Glide. He played for the Trailblazers. Amy's like, I don't even know who that is. Just, nod your head, stupid.
Oh, my God.
All right, Friday, May 8th, Aladdin Theater, Portland, Oregon. Friday, May 3rd, second show, Aladdin Theater, Portland, Oregon. Saturday, very next night, May 4th, McDonald Theater, Eugene, Oregon. Sunday, May 5th, historic Elsinore Theater, Salem, Oregon.
I canceled that.
Oh, you canceled that?
Yep.
All right. You don't want to
No
go to Salem.
offense.
And then 2 days later, Delaware. Who's fucking booking this?
Somebody who hates me.
This is why people do
Somebody who
coke.
wants me to quit the business after this year.
So let's, out of all of these.
They're like, let's squeeze every dollar out of her, and then we're just going to put her out to pasture.
I'm going to pick one of these and just pound the shit out of it. Ready?
Okay.
Sunday, May 12th. All you assholes, go see Amy Schumer at the Count Basie Theater in Red Bank, New Jersey.
Be there. That's going to be the one. That's
My middle
the one.
name is Ferguson. Did you know that?
No.
John.
Thank you for trusting me
Ferguson
with that.
Cox Mohr.
Wow.
You're going to be at Ferguson Hall May 11th in Tampa, Florida. So you've been given your assignment, everyone. May 11th, Ferguson Hall, Tampa. May 12th, Count Basie Theater, Red Bank,
Please
New Jersey.
come to both of those shows.
Yeah, there's a show. You can drive with Amy.
Yeah,
And
that's
again,
what
these
we're
are
offering.
Again, these are back to back, like you're a goddamn NBA team.
I just like
Who did this schedule?
I am. Maybe
You
I
have
do
a
need
full-
antidepressants because I still feel pretty happy. But looking at my road schedule,
This
I'm
is
just
off. This would give me horrible anxiety.
I am filled with sadness. I need to but I went through and I did a combing. I tried to do a combing of canceling a bunch of them. Places like
Because
that does make you sound like an asshole. It makes you sound like a serial killer.
No, I just don't ever want anyone to be able to interpret any, like, I saw him with that person, so just having been a person that people have written such horrible things about, like Twitter.
They have? What did they say about you? Did they say stuff about women with you?
No,
Or you just
I
don't
won't.
want-
I can remove that from the table by when I see you at Gotham by shaking your hand and saying, all right, cool. And it's
Well, I
leaving.
told everyone that we fucked.
Well, that's fine. I don't mind that. That's fine. They'll know you're lying if you said it was any good.
Yeah. Yeah, we met a couple times. Bert was opening for you.
Bert.
And
God damn, he's funny.
He's so funny. I haven't seen
One of
him
the
in a
best
long time.
storytellers of all time.
Well, I wouldn't say that, but he's funny.
One of the he's second tier of the best.
What I like to say is like he gets up there. You know, that's what
He
you
wears
really got up
flip-flops
there.
on stage, and that always bothered me because
I think you should never have open-toed shoes on stage. I'm a firm believer.
But on your special, your high heels were open-toed.
No, they weren't.
Believe me.
Okay.
I am
never
crazy.
met, but I.
No, they were
No,
not.
they weren't. No, I would never do that.
It was a very good special. I like.
Thank you.
When you walked in on your boyfriend masturbating, and he said, "Are you mad?" And you
Like,
said,
no, but you seem to be. Oh, yeah.
So funny because you let the audience imagine like just a guy
Like an
furiously
angry-
beating
yeah.
his dick.
An angry masturbation.
Like 8 Michelob's masturbation.
It's
like
all
I'm gonna
angry,
make this.
right?
Yeah, I'm gonna. Not always, but when
Really?
when you've been drinking, you're like, I'm going to make this
just
work.
make it, beat it like it owes you money. But like, I mean, do guys ever when they're jerking off like have like a nice sentimental like just a sweet beat off?
Like sensitive.
Like, hey guys,
Like it's real sensual.
Yeah, like let's just slow it down today. Does it happen?
Yeah, you put on the all green, you make it real nice. You just go for the. It's
You
more
put
of
cologne, even though it's just you.
Yeah, you put cologne on your thighs, so it wafts up for the two of you to enjoy it.
That is so gross.
You have a show, Inside Amy Schumer, on
Yeah.
Comedy Central. Now it's like spinning off into like a web thing as well. There's all things Amy Schumer.
Is that the right direction for it to go in?
Well, you were on Howard Stern like yesterday
I was on Howard Stern
or
like
this week.
yeah.
So you're now downsizing your media appearances
going the
as
wrong
well.
way.
The king of all media, 20 million listeners, 200,000 listeners. You're going in the wrong direction.
I'm going to start hosting an open mic. Is that the thing that should be on my bucket list next?
Amy Beth Schumer, we've never met.
We've met so many times.
That's not true. Where did we meet?
Can you hear me? Okay. Yeah, I made you spit take right
That was
out the
such a
gate.
Todd Glass question. Hey, can you hear me? Is it okay? Am I all right? Can you hear me?
I'm so comfortable with this little puppy in my lap that I'm like,
Amy
is
Schumer's
this
having a lady
possible?
party.
We're meeting
Lady
lady party right now.
Where did we meet?
We've met a bunch of times.
Pearl Vision Center. Right?
What?
We met at the Pearl Vision Center.
No.
All right, then I don't know.
We've met at Gotham twice.
Oh yeah, I remember now.
Yeah. No, you don't.
No, I don't.
You absolutely don't.
But it
we
was
talked.
quick.
You like inspired me, and then you were gone.
How long ago?
I mean, we met the first time like 5 years ago.
I don't. This is going to sound, at the risk of sounding like an asshole. I tend to spend very little time around women. Come see me do live stand-up comedy, Irvine Improv, May 31st, June 1st, June 2nd. Come see me live, and it'll be awesome. I guarantee it. Then I'm going all the way across the country. Long Island, where are you, baby? Governor's Comedy Club, Wednesday, June 5th, Thursday, June 6th, I'm at Governor's Comedy Club in Levittown, Long Island. Make reservations and come see me. Then Atlantic City, I know you're large. Everybody in Philly is going to come out, make that drive. Friday, June 7th, I'm at Borgata Casino. Saturday, June 8th, Foxwoods Casino. And then Sunday, June 9th, I'm in West Hampton. Go to jmohr.com, click on my calendar, and get these dates. Buy these tickets. Make reservations. Let's party. Let's do it. E-Voice is the reason you're going to make more money in 2013. How? There are hundreds of ways, and you can see them all when you go to jmohr.com and click the E-Voice banner. Here are some examples. When customers call, you'll have your own toll-free number, professional greeting, dial-by-name directory, and more. You'll sound like a Fortune 500 company and blow away your competitors. E-Voice even takes all your voicemails, transcribes them, and sends them to you instantly as a text or email. So you can check your voicemails before the meeting ends and not look rude. E-Voice is only $10 a month. My listeners can test out eVoice for 30 days with no cost and see how much it can help you grow your business. Go to evoice.com and type in the promo code JAYJ. Support Fake Mustache Studios and the More Stories podcast. Stop what you're doing and hit pause. Set up your eVoice free trial and see what I'm talking about. Go to evoice.com, promo code J, evoice.com, promo code J, or just go to jmohr.com and click the eVoice banner right now.
Put your name on it. Just put your name on it. That's all I say. Be a man or a woman. Put your name on it.
Well, I'd like to hear about it, potheads.
How the fuck you gonna know how to be great if you don't study greatness? Look at the game tape.
Donuts.
If you want a battle, it's either that you will or you won't.
You know, you're not a bad-looking man, Mr. Gals.
But you are, Blanche. You are in that chair.
There's something wrong with us. Something very, very wrong with us.